So we've reached the end of the season. And last season the cliffhanger was a mug. This one was pretty interesting. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 2, the season finale for Too Close to Home. We start right off with Mama versus the girls. All 3 of the girls. They ended up having it. I'm not going to go through all of the dialogue that went on, but they had a whole big thing where Mama was going back and forth, and Shelby was spearheading it at first, and then the sisters just ended up kind of saying, like, this is ridiculous. And they started getting in, and then the next thing you know, it was 3-on-1, honey. We found out that, because Mama got a nasty attitude. Like, she went on, Shelby's telling her, you know what went on. You know what you did, and you won't even admit it. And that was the thing. That's what tipped everybody off. Like, we found out she literally sold the girl. She got paid from Eli to actually fuck her girls. And what threw the monkey wrench in the shit is that Annie went to the sheriff and to Dr. Allen. But she was doing this. Mama had been doing this. She had been selling them. Eli was paying her to fuck her girls. And Shelby is the one that really figured out the fact that Mama had been being paid. So in the midst of all that, Shelby hates her. She hates her. She was, because when we left off last week, she was going at it with Shelby. She had ripped out some of Shelby's hair. She said, that bitch ripped out my hair. I was like, oh, it's a mess. And then she told her about the dress. She said, you don't even remember the damn dress, Mama. This is the dress I had on when you sent me up there. You sold it to me, and then he gave me a quota. She said something. Then she kept reverting back and saying, fuck Annie. She pissed off at Annie because Annie left. Then she's saying, Bonnie's my good daughter, because Bonnie don't say nothing. And Shelby said, Bonnie ain't no good daughter. Bonnie don't even like you. She hates you, you bitch. She's killing you slowly. She said, what do you mean? She said, she's the one that's feeding you. She feeds you all that shit. She's killing you slowly. She hates you. I said, And she said, tell her it's not true, Bonnie. And Bonnie's like, it is true. I do hate you. I do hate you. And honey, Mama got the crying and carrying on. She said, oh, now you're going to cry? And then they went on. She said, oh, the hell with you bitches. She said, what's the problem? And at first, she still wouldn't really admit it. And then she was like, don't blame me because you got pregnant at 12. And she's going to say, oh. Annie was like, really? You're not going to take some blame. You're going to place the blame on somebody else. There's always somebody else. She'll say, oh, whatever. I did the best I could. That's what she kept reverting back to. I did the best I could. My mother sold me off at 11. So that makes it right? No, baby, that makes it worse because you knew. So she said, you knew it happened to you, so you knew how it felt. And then you turned around and did it to us. I did the best I could. I had to feed my brothers and sisters, and that's why when my mama did it to me, I just had to suck it up. They said, yeah, but you didn't feed us. You took that money so you could drink and get high and eat. I said, oh my God. It was a mess. So that was pretty much it. After that, something good took place. You saw the sisters finally bonded. You see them literally bond. I hate that they had to bond about that, but they did bond together. And Shelby said, I'm going to try to, get some help, this, that, thing, and the other, and on and on. They're like, we're going to help you. So the sisters have created a bond now. All the dirty laundry has been aired, everybody knows who played what part, and that the sisters were trying to just keep their self the fucking order. Um, at the same time, Bonnie ends up later on finding out that no, let's hold on. We'll hold on to that. Hold on. Okay, let's go to Washington. Let's talk about the president and the first lady. Okay, so the president and his Olivia Pope basically is telling the first lady, we need you on board. We need you. We're going to have this interview. We need you to be on board and say that when you came into the Oval, that the door was open and that you knew that Annie was in the office and that there was nothing going on. And she's like, yeah, okay. As soon as they got in that goddamn interview, honey, first lady turned the motherfucking interview, honey. She gave, honey, he's a liar, honey. Yeah, the door was open after I opened it, honey. When I came, it was closed, honey, and he was in there with that whore, honey. And the American people needs to know he's a liar, and he's been a liar for 20 years, and I'm about tired of it, honey. I said, oh, that fucking bitch turned. He gonna say, you know what, I'm so sorry. I have to apologize to the American people. My wife has a drinking problem. She said, don't even try it. I have a drinking problem. You're a whore. I was like, oh. So that was a mess. She said she was going to set off fireworks. You see him later on, mad, and he's calling Yori and telling Yori, Pelican. He's like, well, sir, I said, don't argue with me, Pelican. I said, well, we guess we'll get to see what Pelican is, because that was about driving me crazy. So that was that. Let's go over to Dr. Allen's house. So over at Dr. Allen's house, you got Victor and Dax going back and forth. Brody's in the room. Brody listened to him for a while. They going on and on. I don't love you. Oh, I love the senator. The senator got good dick and good money and fuck you. And oh, he went on and on and on. And Brody was like, hey, that's enough of that fucking faggot ass shit. There's just certain things you just don't say in my mama's house. You know? So he told him, y'all shut up or I'm going to throw all of y'all's ass out of here. Let me try to get an ambulance to get your stinking ass out of here. And, you know, this, that, and the other. She told Valerie, you take care of them. Keep them two girls from fighting at him. So Brody goes on downstairs. He says to him, he has said to Dr. Al was sitting on the porch. He said, what are you doing, Daddy? He said, talking to JB. He's like, yeah, okay. Here, JB was right around the corner hiding, honey. I said, Lord, this is just too much. Too convenient. But it's like, all right. So he's like, all right, I'm going to finish talking to JB. So he says, okay. He said, all right, Daddy. He left him one out there, went on to do what he's going to do. JB comes from back around the corner, and he's trying to get Dr. Allen to sign his mortgage papers. He's trying to convince him that it's his report card that he's trying to get him to sign. And Dr. Allen, you know, he comes in and he goes out, and he's sitting there. We found out in that time that Dr. Allen ain't all that cool either. He used to take JB out to the field and to punish him. He would leave him out there in the field. He said, I was mad at your mother, so I would punish you because I was mad at your mother. So he was literally abusing JB. He was abusive to JB. And he used to beat him and stuff. And to get back at the mother, because, you know, JB's not his. And I was like, wow, that's pretty fucked up. But then he told him, you got to forgive me. You know, the Lord says you have to forgive me. He's like, I don't know about all that. He's like, yeah, you have to. You got to forgive me, JB. You got to forgive me. You forgive me, don't you? He's like, Here, sign this goddamn report card. He's like, this ain't no report card. Let's say something about mortgage or something. Next thing I know, JB got, his patience got short, honey. He grabbed Dr. Allen, honey, and put his hand over his mouth and started shaking that motherfucker. I said, Now, at this point, you ain't supposed to fuck up old people, but I didn't feel completely bad for Dr. Allen because you ain't supposed to abuse children either. I don't give a fuck if your wife is a whore. So I was like, a lot of this is kind of like karma. But I was like, damn, JB. But he took him and drug his ass off that porch and took him down behind that tree. That's the last we see of them. I don't know what's going on with them. But he got him on the ground. He done knocked him out. He done choked him out and got him down there behind the tree. I said, I'm conflicted. I don't know how to feel. And like I said, I could be wrong. Y'all can write it in the comments, but I don't feel 100% bad for Dr. Allen like I was before because child abuse, nope, sorry, that don't work real good with me. So that is what that is. Y'all tell me what y'all think down there in the comments. Let's see. Let's go. Okay, let's go back to the trailer park. Here we go. Let's go back to the trailer park. So Frankie, in the midst of all that, they end up going to Frankie. Frankie goes over. Sheriff Mobley got Frankie to go back over and talk to Jolene again because she was having a fit. Frankie went over there, really got over with Jolene, really got through to her, even talked her into coming outside. She brought her outside. Now Jolene, after this point, she said, my daughters hate me, this, that, thing, and the other. And I think that was the breakthrough that they needed, that separation. So she's trusting, and trying to befriend Frankie. But the thing I see, okay, she got her to go outside, take her outside. So she stayed outside. Then they cleaned up the house, got everything. When they got everything done, I'm jumping ahead. They got everything done. She took her back in the house. She told Frankie, thank you for everything, this, that, and the other. She had cried and everything. And then she told her, she said, I didn't get no dinner though. She says, oh, let me call you. You want me to call your daughter? She's like, no. I want you to help me. I said, okay. So now this is where this is where that part left off. So it's going to be one of two different things. Either Jolene's going to be authentic, like she's been with Frankie, or she's going to try to use Frankie. But Frankie's smarter than that, baby. But because, I still think Mama's old, slick, old, fat bitch. So I don't totally trust her. I've kind of felt bad for her a little bit. Again, conflicted with her too, because, again, you don't sell your daughters, you nasty whore. But anyway, so that's where that left off. She's trying to she's befriending Frankie. And she said, you going to come see me tomorrow? I was like, okay, we'll see. Okay, so let's go back a little bit in the day. Okay, so when Jolene's outside, on the other side of the trailer, the daughters, they're moving stuff back and forth. Tina and Elm are back there. Like, everybody's back there. Tina and Elm are back there. You got Nelson and what's his wife's name? Regina. They're back there. And the sisters, they're moving about, taking stuff in and out. Tina gets a whiff and she smells perfume. She smells it on Shelby. So when Shelby go to walk back past her, honey, she grabs Shelby by the hair and start beating Shelby's motherfucking ass. Shelby's like, hey, get off me, you bitch. She fucking Shelby up. She goes, you and him, bitch. She said, I smell you. I smell your perfume. She gonna say, what ain't even my perfume? It's Regina's perfume. I sprayed it. Regina's like, what are you talking about, Shelby? She said, I sprayed it on when I was over Regina's house. Honey, Nelson was looking real crazy. His eyes and shit was dancing, honey. And Elm looked like he get ready to run, honey. I said, oh, shit. Honey, the next thing you know, Nelson's like, what the hell's going on here? So he standing there. Regina's like, oh, hell, somebody call the police. Child. Nelson, like, I'm out of here. He runs off. Octavia's like, what the fuck? And she's like, y'all, all you motherfuckers better be gone when he come back, honey. I was like, oh, this is some crazy shit here. So that was the whole thing. So now everything's out in the open. Tina knows Regina been fucking her husband. Nelson knows Regina been fucking Elm. So that's out there. So we don't know where that's going to go. That's where that part ended. Last thing. Like I said, Bonnie. Let's go back to that. Bonnie actually comes in. Mac tells Bonnie, I couldn't stop Rebel. Rebel left. He's like, where the hell Rebel go? Now, it's like hours later. It's like, she went to the park with Eli. Honey, Bonnie takes off. She goes to find Rebel. Before she can get all the way to the park, she sees Rebel walking down the road. And Rebel's crying. And she's like, I tried to keep him off me. This, that, and the other. So he didn't got his hands on her. He pulls down because he's coming right behind her. And he stops and he gets out of his truck and he talking shit to Bonnie. Rebel tells him, go get in the car. Get in the car. So she puts her in the car. And they going back and forth, they having words. He's like, you better not tell no lies like your sisters and them did. This, that, thing, the other. She was my grandson. This, that, the other. And she gonna say, you still run around her touching little girls. She's older. She's 15. He gonna say, what can I say? I'm in the Cougars now. Being smart. Bonnie was like, what? Bonnie went and got in the car. He's standing there in the front of Bonnie's car, talking shit to her. Talking shit to her. Bonnie said, close your eyes, sweetie. I said, girl, she get ready to do my move, honey. She said, close your eyes, sweetie. She said, why? She said, close your eyes, sweetie. And she gave his ass front tire, back tire. And I was so here for it. Thank you, Tyler. You've been listening. Front tire, motherfucking back tire. Seen it the first time on TV. That's my move. I love it. Ran that motherfucker right the fuck on over. And that's where we actually ended up with that. Last thing, Pelican. Yuri is calling, because right after that, Annie comes in. Max like, Bonnie went looking for Rebel. Rebel was with Eli. Annie's like, God damn it, so she get ready to run. She, the phone rings. It's like, it's for you, Annie. It's Yuri. So she's like, I don't have time for this shit. This, that, the other. He's like, come out the door. Come to the other side of the trailer park. Sean, when she turned that bend, honey, the president was standing over there. I said, oh, damn. She said, I told you we're done. He said, I can't stay away from you, darling. I said, oh, my God. So that's where it all ended out at. This shit is too much. You hear me? But that was the cliffhanger this time. I said, oh, damn, we got to wait again. Run over Eli. The president's at the goddamn trailer park. The fight done started. Honey, Nelson's eyes is dancing. Shit. Good shit. All right. So that's it. I'll see you guys when the program comes back on. It's good shit, though.